Want to bet?
Yep.
Then get into the action at Sports Interaction. Whatever your sport, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, in-game, or on one of the many unique prop bets. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Thank you. Or in Ontario, download the app now using our QR code at the bottom of the screen. 19 plus, please play responsibly. Alan said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Also, negativity sucks the joy out of the players. CC at NHL Flames.
I love that because just in case you weren't sure exactly what he was speaking about, he does CC NHL Flames. Thanks, Alan.
Eric Francis has all these quotes from Sportsnet. He said, it starts with this, and I thought this was interesting. Chris Tanev, after that game, was like, we need to play with more emotion. Obviously, a must-win game, but we didn't show up. I'm supposed to be a leader, so I'll take responsibility for not having everybody ready. But what?
You'll take responsibility for that, Chris.
Right.
Okay, I wonder if the coach will do that.
So the coach, obviously people have been in Calgary been asking for like a goalie change for a month now. And finally Dan Vladar gets the spot and maybe it's his net now. And they're playing against Detroit, who are a good team, a much improved team, but they're not yet a playoff team.
They can score.
They certainly can, and they did last night. And here's Darryl's quote on Dan Vladar. Well, it certainly didn't give us an opportunity to win, did it?
Because he was asked about the goaltending. And as usual with Darryl, the video and audio is so much worse.
Yeah. The audio of it actually is way worse. And then he said that the team didn't really show up with any emotion. I'm just wondering here, because every time I mention that Darryl Sutter's not going to be there, people are like, "Well, he signed an extension."
So, and I was reminded yesterday he won the Jack Adams.
Yeah, he did. I think deservedly so. I don't take that away from him.
Yeah, but that trophy is also a death sentence.
So, getting off that for just a second, the Flames, Brad Treliving, we can agree, did a very good job this summer. Two major stars won it out.
It looked like
he was able to bring Huberdeau and Kadri and Weegar in.
Mm-hmm.
And there are now rumors about potentially Weegar getting moved, which is wild.
He signed an extension, I thought.
There was some rumors. Now, I want to ask you, where do you put this? Where do you put the blame here? Someone's got to take it. Is it Treliving? Is it the roster construction, which Sutter has suggested several times in the press conference? There's no one's going to finish. Is it Sutter, the coach? Because the team is remarkably similar to last year's team, only Markstrom is a ghost of himself, and that usually will kill you, and they don't necessarily have like the finishing power that they used to. Or do you put it squarely on the players? Where's the blame here in Calgary?
If I had a post-STPN press conference,
okay,
and people kept asking me about, let's say the show wasn't doing well, and people asked me why the show wasn't doing well, and I kept making allusions to, I'm not sure our Virgin morning radio hosts are pulling their weight. And also the guy in charge of directing the show, like sort of, where the show goes isn't going great. And the guy who wears Aaron Andrews collection pajamas, is sort of getting in the way of our success. Would you like me very much?
It would certainly, especially if you were my boss, because we're all partners in this business. So
yes.
we're all equal partners.
Equal partners. So
but if you were my boss, yeah, I think I'd be a little disheartened.
No. Now imagine. Okay, so yes, you're thinking about it from the perspective of the coach dumping on the players.
Yeah,
which Darryl Sutter does all the time. What I'm alluding to, and this is much more serious, is Darryl Sutter dumping on the general manager. He's dumping on the job that the general manager has done. Darryl, you know what? I'm going to do you a big favor, and I'm going to fire you, tell you to get out of here.
But he's not Treliving's guy anyway, and he knows that.
But, you're obviously not happy here. You don't like the goaltending. I gave you, one of the most expensive decors in the league, and deepest. I brought in Kadri, the belle of the ball, a guy who rejected a trade here a few years ago, and he can say everything he wants about, no, I actually like it here, whatever. And I brought you a guy who set the left wing assist record last year, and all of a sudden it's listen, it can't be everyone's damn fault, Darryl. And you just keep shitting on the job I'm doing. I don't like you. That would be me if I was Brad Treliving. And Brad Treliving is a GM who I've criticized many times in the past. And heading into this offseason, I thought the writing on the wall was this guy's done. It's over with Brad Treliving. But I'm looking at the roster, and I'm sorry, what's the problem? Okay,
It's a good team.
I don't love their left side, but their 1, 2, 3 up the middle. Actually, their center core is Lindholm, Kadri, Backlund, Lewis. That is stellar. Stellar. I like their right side. I like their D core. Markstrom's turned into a pumpkin. Okay,
Yeah,
I think
has.
it's fair that he's been garbage.
Yeah.
Vladar's given them some pretty good games. I don't know. Like, Darryl, I think I'm just going to do you a favor and fire you. I'm going to pay you to not work and pay you to not coach this team that you very obviously hate. Darryl Sutter does not like the Calgary Flames of 2023. Isn't that obvious? Isn't that very obvious? He doesn't think they try. He doesn't think they can finish. He doesn't think they can stop a puck. He hates this team. Do him a favor. Get rid of him.
Well, but this is the problem, and I've been saying this since the beginning. He's Murray Edwards' guy. He is not Treliving's pick.
That's what Western Canada does best. Have owners get directly in the way of their own team's success.
Well, the 3 Canadian Western teams, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't count Winnipeg as a Western team. They're a Central team to me. How's that?
Well,
Yeah.
and that's
fair.
And that's an interesting one. But no, I'm referring to, the 3 teams
That are objectively the West.
Vancouver, like Aquilini is he's the king.
Daryl Cates is absolutely very involved.
Yeah,
But he does let his guys do his thing. It's just he surrounds himself with the 80s Oilers.
less so recently, and he happens to be blessed with this just unreal
Lottery ticket.
lottery ticket player. You talk about generational talent. That's a
Multi-
once in a generation. player.
Multi-generation.
Yeah. And the Flames. Oh my God, constantly getting in the way of his team's success. I'm just so tired of I'm tired of him. I'm just tired of Darryl. And I am tired of seeing his press conferences on my Twitter feed like once a week. Imagine the guys who have to go through a Darryl Sutter practice.
Julian McKenzie.
Oh.
But like even the players, like you sitting here in Toronto, who's not even a Flames fan, are sick of Darryl Sutter.
I don't care if they win or lose.
Imagine being under him and that's your coach, and you got to deal with this guy. I don't think any of the players like him. I don't think the management likes him, and I don't understand why he's still there.
I've been told his pregame speeches are eulogies.
I was going to say,
And that's when they're good.
imagine that guy. Like, we perform for a living. Not in the NHL, but this is a performance we're putting on. I imagine somebody like that is the guy that's supposed to get you pumped up for this.
He doesn't have to yell and scream and shout, but
Get you motivated, though. You do have to do that.
I think you can be a stoic, and that's fine, and it works for you. I mean, at the end of the day, Darryl Sutter's had a lot of success in this league. He's won divisions. He's won. I don't know.
Yeah, we get that. We get all that. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. No. I'm so sick of hearing that.
No, I know.
Yeah, you won the jacket. I get it. But what are you doing now?
Coaches, this is the thing. So, but you just signed him to an extension, and
I guess you're paying him.
And he just won Coach of the Year. The saying "coaches get hired to get fired" doesn't paint the picture. You hear it often. Head coaches get stale. This dude is stale as month-old bread. No one in that room wants to play for him right now. So if there's an effort thing there, it might be because they kind of think you suck, dude. You don't make work fun. You don't make
And it's hockey. It should be fun.
It should be a little bit fun. The Flames were fun as hell last year. They were really, really fun. And this year, they're just sort of... I saw that they were in a playoff spot, and I was surprised. I don't know if they're going to...
Well, the West is pretty bad.
Oh, man.
The West is pretty bad. And we still might have a cup winner out of the West, but
they're not in a playoff spot right now. It's Minnesota.
They're bad.
It's Minnesota who got knocked down to a wild card spot, by the way. And I got to say, I'm surprised the Oilers are still in a wild card spot. I really believe in that team. If they make a big ad and they just find a way to get in, which right now they're fine. Oh man, I don't want to play them.
That's Edmonton.
Yeah, that's Edmonton.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
need
want
to figure out how to play some defense.
Yes,
Everybody
they do.
on the team, like
Or
top to
just double
bottom.
down on offense with Erik Karlsson and call it a day.
or do that,
right?
which I
but-
think is, believe it or not, the easier thing to do.
When it comes to the Flames, I think it's like Bruce Boudreau's there. Like Damian Cox's article from the other day should have been about Calgary. That that is literally, if he had replaced Sheldon Keefe with Sutter, it would have been like, wow, it would have been that meme. The worst person you know makes a good point. You know what I mean? Like, and that guy in that meme looks like Damian Cox, by the way.
He
does. And it's not because
degree.
it's like that is a legitimate criticism that can be leveled. This team needs to have a little fun.
You know, and there are going to be people who, oh yeah, that's who you need to drive you to playoff success is Bruce freaking Boudreau.
You need to drive to the playoffs first.
But like,
Just get there.
You hear about tacticians and you hear about motivators.
Mm-hmm.
I get the impression Darryl Sutter is a tactician on account of he's definitely not a motivator. But this team just feels like a team that needs a motivator right now. They need joy.
Mm-hmm.
They play joyless hockey.
Well, you know what? They have a habit of hiring joyless coaches. Glenn Gulutzin, Bill Peters, who else?
And then I think it was Darryl.
And then it was Darryl. Like it's just morbid. Remember, I used to make fun of Glenn Glutzin's press conferences regularly. I'd be like, "This guy is morose, and it's a good hockey team."
And he seems to be an okay assistant coach, and we've talked about this on the show. Some guys, they're great assistants. They get promoted to head coach, and they find out they're better off being an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's 3 hires in a row. Where I mean, at least Sutter has a track record, for God's sake. Gulutzin, at very least, was, you know what? He doesn't have much of a track record. Let's see what he's got. And then there's Bill Peters, who did have a track record of not being very good.
And Calgary bent over backwards to get him anyway.
Which is so weird because, like, I remember we talked about it at the time. Bill Peters was never a good idea. And then we found out all the other stuff. He kicked a player in Carolina. He said something racist in Chicago or with Rockford, whatever. And now, I don't know. I feel like maybe comparing Gulutzin and Peters to Sutter isn't the most fair.
We're not comparing. We're just saying that they have a track record of hiring guys who are glum. Is that what part of that's incorrect? It's literally like
glum.
It's just
That's such a good
It's
word.
probably, like the personality that the owner attaches to and like the interview process and like the people he likes and have to have
good.
around
Sure.
him, you know?
Oh, good.
How much
So
success-
why fire anyone ever?
Yeah.
Keep Sutter forever. Sign him to a lifetime contract if that's what you fucking want. This is not what this team needs right now. And also, stop burning money. Billionaires need financial advice. Knock it off. Get out of your own way. Why have Brad Treliving then? You're making all the fucking decisions.
Hold on, though. Bill Peters was Treliving's guy. So if I was Murray Edwards, I wouldn't trust him either.
What's he still there for?
Well, I guess because of the offseason that he had, which was really good.
Yeah, but is it?
Well,
Look at him in the standings.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, like, what this comes down to, who's the president?
Bean? What is his name?
John Bean.
John B. That's the president?
Yeah.
Like, listen, do yourself a favor. Whoever is making the decisions, because we keep talking about, he has the favor of ownership. He has the favor of the
does.
president. Fire everyone and you do it.